Hey everybody, welcome back to Red Mug Music. I'm glad you could be with me today. I hope you're doing well. What we're going to talk about today is another Prince unreleased album and the making of the Batman soundtrack. First, before I go on, I want to talk about my sponsor real quick, Holly Carter. She's a travel consultant with the Magic for Less Travel. She is one of the best if you're ready to book that next vacation with Disney or Universal, or even if you're ready to start thinking about going on a cruise. She is the person to go to. So I'll put the information up here for you to scan, and you can go ahead and get that free quote. It's not going to hurt, and you can go ahead and give your family and yourself something to look forward to. And also, while I have your attention, if you don't mind subscribing, that would be fantastic. Only a very small portion of the people that watch my videos are subscribing, and I'd like to get some more subscribers if possible. And that's how I'm gonna grow the channel. So if you could take a moment and subscribe, click on the bell, and you'll be the first to find out every time a new video drops. And also, if you're thinking, well, you're not really talking about the things I want you to talk about, comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to hear. And I've got things coming up soon. And I've been talking about Prince for a while, and it's just a subject that really interests me. And I think it's getting a lot of response. So I was going to continue on that. But if you have something else that you would like for me to talk about, comment down below. Let me know. All right. Back to the video. What we're going to talk about today is it's going to be another Prince unreleased album. And also we're going to talk about the making of the Batman soundtrack. So in 1988, Prince was working on his next project called Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. Now this is not to be confused with the actual album that released. There's a spelling difference. This one was UNTO, unto, and the one that was released was UN and the number 2. So don't get those confused. I have that over here somewhere. But anyway, this was a completely different album. Early configurations for this album had songs called The Voice Inside, Melody Cool. We know that went on to be on Graffiti Bridge, Rave Until the Joy Fantastic, God is Alive, If I Had a Harem, Stimulation, Still Would Stand All Time. That was ended up being slated for Graffiti Bridge, as well as Elephants and Flowers, Big House, and We Got the Power, which that song will come up later. In late 1988, the configuration changed, and then again it changed in 1989, and this is the third and last configuration that I know of for Rave. And it had Rave Into the Joy Fantastic, If I Had a Harem, Good Judy Girlfriend, Pink Cashmere, we know that one from the hits, Electric Chair, Am I Without You, God is Alive, Still Would Stand All Time, and Moonbeam Levels. We know that one as well. It's since been released on the compilation album. Now, while he was working on Rave, he was approached with the Batman soundtrack idea. And that idea was way too good to be true. So he pretty much wanted to drop everything he was doing and start working on this soundtrack. Of course, he was still touring with Lovesexy, so he kind of had to finish that. I think he wanted to quit it, but he ended up finishing that and fulfilling his obligations, and then he got to work on the Batman soundtrack right away. The filmmakers were using two of his songs already, 1999 and Baby I'm a Star, in certain scenes that they felt that it fit. And when Prince agreed to be part of this project, he wanted to replace those two songs with two other songs. And those two songs ended up being 200 Balloons and Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. Now, the filmmakers didn't think that those songs worked that well in the movie. So those two, along with an instrumental that Prince did called Batman Theme, which you may not know about this one, but Batman Theme was actually a reworked version of that Madhouse 24 track 19, Jailbait. So they passed on that idea altogether. So Prince ended up recording Trust and Party Man to replace those two. And here's a little fun fact that I didn't know about. In the beginning, very early on, what they wanted to do, the filmmakers, what they wanted to do is they wanted to have Prince and Michael Jackson to be on the soundtrack. And Prince would pretty much play the part of the dark, the darkness, the Joker. And Michael Jackson would be the light or Batman. But I think Michael Jackson had other things he was working on, so he actually had to decline. So it just ended up being Prince. So if you ever wondered if Prince and Michael Jackson were ever supposed to work together, here was the opportunity, but it didn't happen. So Prince ended up recording The Arms of Orion with Sheena Easton, The Future, Lemon Crush, Vicky Waiting, which was actually called Anna Waiting. Was named after a girl in his life, but then changed to Vicky Waiting, to go along with Trust and Party Man. And he also included, as you heard me say before, Electric Chair and Still Would Stand All Time from the unreleased Rave album. That was going to be the soundtrack. Along with these songs, Prince recorded another song called Dance with the Devil. Now, Dance with the Devil ended up being taken out of the project because Prince actually deemed it to be too dark. Have you heard Dance with the Devil? I'm going to link that down below. It's going to be like a real crappy YouTube quality because it's not released. And I found it the other day and I listened to it, and I'm pretty sad that it didn't make it. And I don't find it to be too dark it's Batman. It was kind of dark already, so I think it would have been a perfect fit. Comment down below after you listen to the song and tell me if you think it should have stayed in there. Of course, we have no say-so, but that's just, again, like I always say, that's how my brain works. I'm always thinking about how I could have made the album better. And then later on, Still Would Stand All Time would be replaced with Scandalous. Now, Batdance was recorded to replace Dance with the Devil, and it was originally 9 minutes long, and he had to edit it down for inclusion of the Batman soundtrack because 9 minutes is just too long. And talking about Batdance, that's actually what my video was supposed to be about in the first place. I was wanting to kind of break down the song and talk about, all its parts and things like that. But I just found out all this other stuff and just had to include it, and it kind of changed direction of the video. But Batdance, I didn't know this. 200 Balloons. No, I talked about it before, and I said that was the first song that Prince made to be put into the album. And they didn't want it. That offered Prince the framework to create the song Batdance. And 200 Balloons, you've probably heard it because it was the B-side of Batdance, and it also was on the B-sides of the hits 1 and 2. I'll link that down below, a YouTube video if I can find it, and you can listen to that and you'll hear the similarities between 200 Balloons and Batdance. I actually thought 200 Balloons was kind of like a remix that came after Batdance, but it was the other way around. So 200 Balloons helped create Batdance. So Batdance included lyrics from two previous songs, which were called The Future and Electric Chair, if you remember that. And of course, there's a lot of dialogue samples throughout the whole song. I almost consider it an instrumental with the chorus. And I remember when it came out, it was so exciting. It was so different. And I remember just really loving that song, and I love the video. I'll link that down below too if you haven't seen it. And I remember them in the song Batdance. They're saying Batman, very similar to how they sang Batman in the original Batman series years ago. So that was really nice to kind of have that nostalgic flavor in that in the song. And I also remember that one of my favorite Prince guitar solos is in this song. It's so good. It's such a really good. I just remember the tone of that guitar. It just sounded so great, and definitely contributing to me really liking the song. So the song quickly changes pace. It goes from this 200 balloon sound to a looser mid-tempo funk, similar to another song that I mentioned that was going to be on the Rave album, We Got the Power. But reworked. I mean, it just kind of had that feel, but it really didn't have the sound. And here's where you hear the lyrics from We Got the Power when it does that change. So that's pretty cool. And then it changes direction again back to how the song was in the beginning, that 200 balloon sound, segued by more like sound bites from the movie. I mean, just fantastic arrangement. Now, the chorus of the song, We Got the Power, which, again, like I said from the beginning, that was supposed to be on the Rave album, was used in Batdance. Now, if you remember, it goes, hey, we got the power. Oh, we got the soul. Hey, we got to show enough get off to make the devil go, go. That was actually the chorus on We Got the Power. So now we have this final configuration. The future electric chair that was slated for Rave, The Arms of Orion with Sheena Easton, Party Man, which was actually a song about Jack Nicholson himself, Vicky Waiting, previously called Anna Waiting, Trust, Lemon Crush, Scandalous, and Batdance. That's the album. Tell me if you like that album. I do like it, but I would have liked to have seen the album include Still Withstand All Time and Dance with the Devil instead of Arms of Orion and Scandalous. Whenever I listen to the Batman album, those two songs are the ones that kind of bring me out of the mindset of the theming of the album. Kind of like when you're watching a movie and, you know, it's a matter of buying into the characters or buying into the situation and actually, you know, being very interested in it. I'm like that with music. I'm like that with albums. That's why I like albums and not just singles. But I'm listening to it. I'm hearing the future, an electric chair, and then The Arms of Orion comes on. And don't get me wrong, The Arms of Orion is a beautiful song. Like every time it comes on, I've got to sing with it. But it stops me from that. It stops my imagination of being in the moment of what I'm supposed to feel. I just think these were Arms of Orion and Scandalous. I really feel like were more personal on Prince's part rather than the thought of the movie itself. But I think Still Withstand All Time from Graffiti Bridge, listen to it and tell me, but listen to it with the thought of it being in the Batman soundtrack, and it sounds like it would fit perfectly. And of course, Dance with the Devil is absolutely perfect for this album. So that's just me. But again, I'll link Dance with the Devil below. I'll link We Got the Power below and 200 Balloons. I'll link all those below so you can listen to those. I'm hoping we get to eventually see a Batman Super Deluxe album and all that. Maybe all these songs will be on it. I think that would be fantastic. So we can hear everything from Rave to everything from the Batman soundtrack. But I just thought this was a really interesting story, and I hope you enjoyed it. So that's going to be it for today. I'm really glad you were able to stop by and hang out with me today. Don't forget, I'm on Instagram at Red Mug Music, and I got my website, redmugmusic.com. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you're the first to find out whenever a new video comes out, and you can be the first to comment down below. So that's going to be it for this week. I'll see you guys next time.